What's up, everyone, and welcome to the Mint City Soccer Show. We're already broken, so that's how you know this is going to be a good episode that we're cracking up in the first 5 seconds of me kicking off the show. I'm one of your hosts, David Gussler, and I'm actually here to do the podcast this week, as we were just joking around. I've got my co-host and buddy of mine, Matt Swift. Matt, how are you?
I'm good, man, and I'm glad you're here with us. You took a deep breath before we started, and that's what like set me off. You're like you're about to take a free kick or something.
That's right, man. It's a stressful thing to do this show. I'm just joking. But I'm glad to be back. And then I've got producer extraordinaire, co-host Corey Insko. Corey, I like your kit, man. For those who are watching on YouTube, so what kit is that?
I believe it was the autism awareness from a couple years back. I like this one a lot. It's a good Carolina blue color. You'd think that David had never talked into a microphone before the way he was trying to start the show. It's not like we have a complicated start, like a scripted thing that happens, and it's not even live. We're just like riffing. Yeah. But man, the like mental preparation that David went through to host this show, he's ready, guys. I just let you know he's ready. He's locked in.
I'm not locked in, but that's okay. I'm looking. What was breaking me was seeing both of your faces staring at me, judging me like, what is he doing? And then I'm freaking myself out even more than that. So it's all good. I'm glad to be back, though. Well, at least we're here to talk at least some better news with Charlotte FC's recent fixture, beating Toronto. Who cares if Toronto's really bad? They beat them 3-1 at home. But we've also got to talk a little bit about recent trends. We've had a few games since the last time we did this show. Had some random weekday games here and there, but the recent form of the draw against FC Cincinnati and the loss against NYCFC, who I feel is like our new Red Bulls, where we just can't seem to beat a New York team for whatever reason. So, but yeah, let's start. I mean, I guess Swift. I guess the question to start this off is, what was different this week than the previous 2 games or 3 games? If you even look back to how our recent run of form was. Open Cup lost to Atlanta, lost to New England, tied to FC Cincinnati, but had to come back and score 2 goals in the second half just to get a draw. Lost to NYCFC. If you looked on Reddit, you looked on Facebook, it was doom and gloom. It was the end of Dean Smith's era for Charlotte FC. And then here we are now with a 3-1 victory against Toronto. So what was different the last few weeks? And do you feel like we've turned the corner, or what's going on?
I just think the difference was the chances that we created, the ball movement, and just energy. We just like past few matches, it just seems like we've been lethargic and just not able to move the ball freely. And I mean, here's the thing: like Toronto was really struggling with people being out of the squad. But I mean, you have to score goals, you have to create chances, no matter who you're playing. And we did that, especially in the first half. Second half, a little different story. But the first half, I thought we had a lot of good chances. Like I said, moving the ball really, really well. And we had some players really, really show up this game, and it counted. But I know we'll go through the Toronto match. But the previous matches, we just struggled. Not a lot of shots in general, and definitely not a lot on goal. And you got to win your home matches. And, the last 2 matches, we come away with only 1 point. That's not great. So, but fortunately, got back to our winning ways this match. There's still some things that kind of reared its ugly head in this match too. So I'm not completely sold, but hey, I'll take a win any way we can get it.
Yeah, I mean, to put it in perspective, this was the last win that we've had since April 18th, which is...
It's been a while.
Months ago.
Wow. Really need to have that song come up somehow randomly, Corey, if we can put 5 seconds of it on our show.
Look, I already got in trouble for putting a POD song on here a while back. I'm not putting a Stained song on here.
There you go. But yeah, so, well, I guess like Swift, I don't want to say it's a trend, and not to make this the negative show or, derail us too much, but for whatever reason, last year, we seem to have these run of stretch games, either in a good way or in a bad way. Like last year we had injuries in the summer. It kind of made more sense for us to have a string of games that was really bad. And we were just desperate to get points. We were playing on the road a lot. We were traveling a lot, going out to the West Coast, Midwest, etc. Then we go on this historic run and win 10 games, tie MLS record for most games in a row, to kind of help us out in our playoff push last year. And now this year we have a run of games, almost 4 or 5 weeks worth of games where it looks pretty ugly for Charlotte. And we were desperate to even get a point against Cincinnati there for a minute there. So is this like a Dean Smith thing? Like, do you think this is something that is going to be the norm for us moving forward, or like the mental side of thing? Like what's going on here for these run of stretches for us?
Dang, that's probably
it's a loaded
one of the
question.
best questions. No, it's actually one of the best questions I think ever. Like it's because it's a common.
You guys told me in the podcast.
We're done.
Because like I think it's a combination of things. I think the league in general has this kind of ups and downs. But here's the thing, though: the teams that are like cream of the crop, they don't fluctuate as much. I mean, I look at Nashville this year. There's no really ups and downs really with them, and a couple of other teams at the top. And you have to mitigate that. You have to mitigate those dips as best as possible. Do I think part of this is Dean? A little bit. I just think the way we're set up and some of the strategy and tactics that he implements kind of leads to this feast or famine.
It's like it's a slim margin of error for the style that we play.
It is.
You're saying? Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I just think we've talked about the formation and the double pivot and the pros and cons of it. And I just think, again, and it happened in this Toronto match, is sometimes we switch off mentally, and I'm not sure where that comes from. Is that coaching? Is that just the players? Maybe a little bit of both. But I think in MLS, you're always going to have the highs and lows. But that's just the nature of the league. But at the same time, at what point do we get past 5th place, 6th place, and we start talking about how we're one of the elite teams in MLS? That's where I'm like, is this going to be an every year thing? Is this, we're going to lose 4 games in a row, and then all of a sudden we win 5 games in a row? Like, where are we really? And, I think we talked last show, Corey, about I wasn't going to really judge us until after this home game stand. And I got to say, even with the win, I'm a little concerned still. We should have more points. We should be, I mean, even if you win one of those games between Cincinnati and NYCFC, I mean, we're talking 3rd, 4th place, but here we are sitting in 7th and trying to like kind of dig our way back up. But we are at home again, so that's always nice. And then we have a break, might get some reinforcements, and then we're back at home. I think we play Atlanta when we come back from break. Mm-hmm. So there's some light there. So it's not all doom and gloom, but we need to kick it up another notch. We need to get to the next level of where we were last year and where we are this year.
This would have been a very different podcast had we recorded it last week, which is probably for the best. That you don't get the extreme negativity. And I want to talk about the things that we did well in Toronto. Like I don't want to overlook that. But to your point, like even with that win, I still have a whole lot of concerns about this team this year. And again, it's less about, I say this all the time, I feel like, but it's less about the actual results and more about how we played in those matches. And in both Cincinnati, the stats are kind of surprisingly good. Honestly, when you look at the stats, like, some of the expected goals and shots and all that, like I would have thought they would have been way worse and we got away with the draw, but they're surprisingly good. But still, just watching that match, other than that period in the second half where we woke up and fired in 2 goals quickly to tie it back up, that first half was awful.
Yeah,
that was a horrible half. The whole New York match was one of the worst things I've ever seen.
Right.
At home. And so we finally saw it click a little bit against Toronto, and I don't want to like discount what that was, but like the 2 previous matches were not giving me a lot of confidence for where this team still currently sits and how they're playing.
Yeah. And David, kind of back to your really good question. And Corey, what you're just saying is it's how are you losing, right? If you lose and you've done well, there's lots of back and forth. Maybe you got a little unlucky here and there. That's different. And that can be those ebbs and flows. And I think we actually got a little bit lucky in the Toronto game too, multiple times. But I just think it's how you're playing, the style that you're playing in. But when it's really, really bad and you're losing, that's hard to stay positive, right? there's really nothing to look forward to. But I do think this Toronto game did shine some light on, okay, if we do things the way we're supposed to, these are some of the outcomes that we can have.
So not to play devil's advocate and be a positive Patty here, but I guess so. I know. Sorry, I'm on a roll tonight. So two things. One, like I'm looking at Charlotte, looking at the table, like definition. I don't want to say mediocrity because I don't think that's fair to a certain degree, but we are literally like 16th out of 30 teams in the Supporters Shield. We're 7th out of 15 in the Eastern Conference. We've scored 23 goals. We've had 23 goals against with a goal differential of 0. Like smack dab in the center of where I think we kind of deservedly need to be right now, because like if you look at how we've played, I think that's a fair reflection of where we're at right now. Like it kind of reflects how we played, right? But isn't this kind of what MLS wants? Is this parity? Because if you go back to what you were saying about like Nashville, for example, last year wasn't so hot. I think the year before that was pretty rough. Now they're like hottest team in MLS, or at least in the East, right? Have a up and coming coach, have really good players, DPs, etc. Swung the pendulum really quickly. If you look at the way the East is, the difference between 5th place and like 11th place, it's going into the game last on the other night on Saturday, was like 3 points or 4 points between them, right? Same thing if you look in the Western Conference, the difference between 5th place and like 10th place is 4 points, right? So it kind of gives parity to the league. So isn't it like, is this how MLS is constructed? Like, should we see this and kind of be in the mix, quote unquote? Or do you want us to be that extremely hot team and just go balls to the wall, be number 1, number 2, all the time? Like, I guess, throwing all those things in there. Sorry.
No, that's a fair question too. We are 7 points behind 3rd, and they have a game in hand. That's New England. So that could be even worse after they play. And I just think we're starting to lose some ground to the top. And you could sit there and be like, yeah, 4th, 5th still gets you good in the playoffs and could get you a home match and everything like that. But at what point do we progress? At what point do we get better? At what point are we, someone like Nashville or Miami, someone like that can stay up there, LAFC, something like that? Like when should we have those expectations of just kicking it up a notch? And it's hard to be top of the league, top 3 of the league every single season, but yeah, I think it's something that we need.
I think it's the woes on the road, right? It's like our road record, we're 1-1-4 on the road, which is 12th in the East. If you look at us at home, we're 4-2-2, which is 3rd in the East. Like only Nashville and New England have a better home record than we do.
Yeah, but if you look at Orlando when we played them and how they were at that moment, should have won that one. And then you get 1 point out of 2 home games. So and the thing is, if we win one of those, what that puts us up again at 90, 21, 2, like probably like 5th-ish.
Yeah, maybe in 5th.
Yeah, and then we would have this another home game here. So we're not completely far off, but at the same time, the quality of play to me is still far off.
Right. Yeah, it's the same thing I was saying earlier. It's the way they're losing. It's the way they're playing. It's in general, like, I do expect MLS to have pretty good parity. Like, it's kind of the way it's structured, the way a lot of American sports are structured is to be that way. I get that. And if we were playing well and just getting unlucky breaks or, here and there, like things like that happen, like that's fine. But up until the Toronto match, like the run of games, it was not just the results. It was the way the teams were playing. And like, there were some big results too. I mean, if you look, going down the line, like, look, these teams that were playing were right in the same realm as us in the standings, right? So when we're talking about playoff pictures and things like that, these are some teams you want to get results against because it could have some, things down the road. So like New York City is in 5th, Cincinnati's in 9th. Orlando City's in 10th. Like, these are all teams that we want to be getting some results from, because they're right around us in the standings. And so it's disappointing to see the way we've played in some of those over the last month between wins.
Yeah.
Yep, I was just trying to be on the outlook, but don't get me wrong. I agree with you, Corey. The way we've lost this year has not been good. It's not been a fun time. So, anything that I guess just like trends or themes that you would highlight, Corey or Swift, really with Cincinnati or New York? I guess with those past two games, is there anything that stood out to you before we talk about Toronto, at least the win?
Yeah, Matt will have more important things to say, so I'll just go quickly. I think what you said earlier was about the difference from those two matches to Toronto was the energy. Like, we've talked about it in the previous episode too. Like, this team comes out so flat with no ideas, no runs, no moves, no passing. Everyone looks lost and confused. Like, I think I texted in the group chat at one point, like, the vibes just seem bad. Like, no one has any energy or interest or whatever in this match. And it's just clear as day from the moment the ball kicks off that we're just not in it. We're not in it. And it was different against Toronto. Like, that to me, I could tell from early on in the match that it felt a little different by the way we came out and played. So I think that's whatever that thing is, where we come out and play a little more aggressively, are making good passes, making good runs, getting some opportunities, creating some chances. Like, those are the things that weren't happening before then. So it was nice to see some of that start to come together against Toronto.
Yeah, I think for me, if you look at the NYCFC game, 3 total shots, we had 2 shots on goal at home.
Yeah.
How do you get excited for that? I mean, like, how do you cheer? How do you do that at home? One, and Dean in his press conference was like, "Oh, our teams are similar. We, that's why it was very even. That's why no one played worth a crap." I don't know, whatever he said. But 2 shots on goal. That's not going to get you anywhere. Yeah, I mean, now keep in mind, NYCFC had 4 shots on goal or 4 shots and 1 on target, and it went in. But that shouldn't be like, oh, well, look at this team, but they did this. We should not be like, well, they did this. Like, we should have more than 2 shots on goal. And I think that's just the big difference. And that right there was the problem the games before that. So that was the worry. It wasn't necessary the losing, because that also sucked, but it was how we were showing up. It was the 0 shots, and not on goal, 0 shots against Atlanta in the first half, if I'm remembering correctly.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how the hell does that even happen? Atlanta sucks, and it's the Open Cup.
I'm looking at sorry to jump in, but just kind of stay right on that theme, is looking at the New York City stats. We had 0 shots on target in the second half after going down.
Yeah, and that goes back to the style, the heart, what are we doing?
You're down 1 goal, and you can't you get 2 total shots, and you can't manage to get any shot on target in the entire second half when you're down a goal chasing a match.
Yeah.
The NYCFC game is like the stereotypical, I'm bringing a friend that's never watched soccer before in their entire life, and I'm really trying to get them into the sport, and I'm going to take them to that game, and then it ends up being like a snooze fest of a game where there's like 5 shots total the entire game. I don't know. I agree with you. I mean, I think that the attack was my concern over that 4 or 5 game stretch there for a little bit, and pretty sure that there was a listener question from a guy named David that asked the question like, why our center back was our leading goal scorer there for like 3 weeks for a little bit of time. But at least we've broken off from that stretch there for a little bit of time. But I don't know. It's been our attack that's been my concern through the stretch, especially when we have so many DPs and money spent in that top 4 people there. Yeah. That's my concern, but
yeah, for sure.
It's neither here or there, but sweet. Well, let's transition to some fun talk and talk through Toronto a little bit. I mean, I think we've had fun talk either way. So, I guess like Swift starting 11. I mean, Dean continues to tinker with the midfield a little bit, right? In this game coming into this, I feel like we still haven't really figured out what we want to do with Ashley Westwood being the 6, Pep BL being the attacking mid, and then that number 8 has been Jabril Gianni, Luca De La Torre. You've got Brant Bronico. Brant Bronico starts in this game. So, I mean, I as a fanboy of Brant Bronico, I'm excited for that. But what'd you think of his starting 11 for this game? And do you think that's the ticket to move forward, or what do you think if you're Dean moving forward?
I don't know if Dean saw something, looking at Toronto, that he thought that Bronico would be a little better suited this match, because he has been using Johnny quite a bit and kind of consistently. So, but yeah, it's always nice to have Brant out there and playing that spot. And like I said, I thought the first half we played really, really well. So I mean, the starting lineup kind of picked itself. We have some injuries. Toffolo's still out, and then Tim Ream is load management, which
I almost wore my U.S. men's national team kit. That's a Ream jersey just for that question there, Swift.
Okay. Yeah. I don't know how I feel about it, but sure, load management. Whatever you gotta tell yourself, I guess.
As a fellow 37, 38-year-old person that tries to play soccer on Sunday Beer League, I feel for Tim. I feel yesterday's game still in my bones. So, clearly, same level of competition here as Corey is dying in the background.
That's my favorite thing when David tries to compare his soccer experience to
yeah, it's pretty good.
Listen. I like to dream, sir. No, so what's funny is that I was just looking at how different this first half was. Corey, we were just talking about how shit that NYCFC game was. And I had to pull this up to make sure I'm getting this right. 3 total shots by Charlotte in that NYCFC game. We had 9 in the first half alone against Toronto. So much better showing. Too bad if you're bringing a friend for the first time to a game, that's the game you should take them to versus the NYCFC game, right?
Yeah. No, absolutely. I mean, it was just, that's what I'm talking about. It's like you could tell from the very beginning, there was just more energy in the attack and getting things forward and creating some chances, and guys were making runs and were making the right passes, and it just seemed to be clicking better than it had in a long time. And you see it in stats. Yeah, like 9 shots, 4 on target, 10 touches in the opposition box. Like, it would just very clearly seem like something else is happening here that we've been missing. So it was good to see.
It's Brant Bronico, man. That's the difference. So go ahead, Swift. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, I feel like I know we're gonna play well by the first couple of minutes if we're moving off the ball well, but if we're kind of stagnant and kind of hesitant, waiting around, I'm like, this is not.
Yeah.
We're gonna dick. I always talk about dick around with the ball. It's dick around time. But this Toronto match, we came out with some intensity and movement. We had some great movement, and I felt like we were making better passes too, quicker passes.
Mm-hmm.
That's also a big thing too. Not being so hesitant, just really being aggressive. And it might have been because maybe the team knew, hey, Toronto has all these injuries. They're ripe for the taking. Let's jump on them early. I don't know if that was the mentality. And, but whatever it is, it worked.
But why? This gets to actually, I'll steal this from, I can't remember who it was. I was watching MLS 360 after maybe the Wednesday match. I can't remember which of the commentators it was. But they were getting on another team that was playing at the same time. I want to say it was Colorado, but they mentioned Charlotte again too. It's why don't we always come out like that? Especially when you're at home, it doesn't make any sense to me. And he was saying this, he's like, I don't know why teams I want to say it was Colorado, but I'm not 100% sure. But them and Charlotte just like to sit back at the beginning and just let things come to them. It's no, especially when you're at home, start the game on the front foot and put pressure on them. They're the ones that want to sit back and just kind of coast it out, maybe play on some counters and things like that. You need to take the initiative to set the tone of the game. And that's something that we don't do every match. And it shows in those first few minutes. It's oh, it's going to be a long one. We'll see what happens.
Yeah. And that it goes back to formation and tactics that I don't understand sometimes. And I understand you can't press the whole match, but we don't pressure. We sit off and we let the opposing team get into the game by knocking it around and and it eats away the minutes too.
It takes the crowd out of it. Like
Takes
also
the crowd
like,
out of it.
The energy of the stadium just flattens when we're not doing anything those first like 10 minutes.
Yeah, it's maddening. And again, like I don't know if that we have the personnel that can press a lot, but at the same time, like have a little bit of pressure. Like you don't have to do a full field press, but like something you got to break them out of their rhythm and get on teams early at home.
Yep. Sorry, we veered into the negative again, David. We're supposed to be talking
about hey, listen, I'm trying to be the positive Patty here for a minute here. So, no, you're good. So, I do agree with you though, because that was gonna be my question. Is like I don't. You can 100% tell with this team, especially this season, if it's going to be a good match or not in the first 5 minutes. Like it's literally a thing. Like it's like, oh, we're going to be shit. Okay, great. Like we're going to either luck into a draw or lose this game. Or if we start pressing and we actually control the pace and the ball, it's like, I don't know. I don't know if Dean needs to have pregame snacks for them that are different for whatever it is, or like pep talk or something. Like whatever we need to do to keep that mojo going, that's what we need to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and it's very telling that Corey, you know, you were talking about the analyst talking about Charlotte. I've also heard Taylor Twellman talk about us like that. I've heard Jessica Sherman talk about us like that. Like, why are we not pressuring the ball? And it makes no sense. And it's like, okay, if you don't feel like you have the personnel, then maybe it's the formation. Maybe you need to play different players. Like I'm a little confused. So, you know, and maybe Dean feels like he can't do that. Maybe he feels like he does not have the players to do that. And hopefully that changes in the summer. But I'm always baffled by it. If you're going to lose, go lose by going for it. Like this one shot on target nonsense during games. I can't deal with that.
You don't like bend don't break soccer, Swift? Is that not your jam?
It gets old, man. Like I don't know.
Like, I feel like that was fine year one for us because we had such a shit defense, and it was like changing the culture. You got to set the tone. Like, who cares if we don't have a lot of offensive output? We didn't really have that many DPs up on top either at the time, right? And so it was kind of like, hey, we're setting that tone. But now it's like year three, and the Deans, like, we gotta evolve, man. We gotta get past that.
Here's the thing: we are breaking. There's no bend. We just break.
Right. Well, yeah.
Right. 23 goals against. We're breaking. Yeah. There's no, like, Kalina, I think, is fourth in saves. He has one clean sheet. One. Come on. Like, we're just giving up way too many goals.
Yeah. Should we talk about positives? Do you want to get to the goal scores?
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah. Well, I think, is that part of your slides there, Swift?
No, the slides are negative.
Yeah. I had a request. It was a request for the Toronto goal, but I am all about talking about the positive here in our goals.
Well, let's do it. So let's talk about that first goal there, Swift, scored by Mr. DP himself, Wilfried Zaha. So, I mean, I don't know. What did you see happen on that play? And I guess I don't want to say, was it like luck of the draw that Wilf kind of was in the right place at the right time, or like what do you think Charlotte was doing there in that moment?
First and foremost, Pep Biel winning the ball, not the pass that he made to Vargas. That's great and all. It's him winning that ball, anticipating winning the ball, and then able to have the skill to dribble out of that situation. If you saw that, that's where that DP money comes in, and Pep's been absolutely amazing. I love that dude. So it starts with that. It's having a player that could do that. And then he gets the ball out to Vargas. Vargas, again, making a great run down the wing. But if you look, we're now on the break. We've caught Toronto out. We're on the break. That's the type of team that we're supposed to be. We're a fast break team. We're counterattacking team. And to Brant Bronico's credit and to Wilfried Zaha's credit, they made those runs. Mm-hmm. Now, a lot of times we're slow to react. We're slow building up. But both of those guys make a beeline straight for goal. And Brant Bronico does exactly what he's supposed to do. He goes to the middle and he kind of tries to make like a more of a near post run. And Vargas tries to ping him. But what happens, Bronico takes both of those defenders to him because Bronico is actually the most dangerous player because that's who the ball is going to, right? So Toronto overcommits. And then Zaha, to his credit, actually kept going and didn't stop, didn't slow down. And he was in right place, right time, and great first touch, great finish. So it was a really good goal, and it's super, super positive stuff. And that is, if we're going to be a counterattacking team, that's how you do it right there. That's like 101.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, like the point you made is exactly what I was thinking too, is that because we moved quickly, because players ran into the box, we forced them into a mistake of leaving Zaha all the way by himself on the other side of the box. I know that Vargas was probably going for Bronico in that moment, but still, like, you have him back there. Mm-hmm. No one's within 10 yards.
Yeah, I mean, it's putting the ball in a dangerous area.
He's by himself. What you're supposed to do. And Tokomati has, like, I'm looking at this kind of a screen grab right now. Tokomati made a run. Also, he has 3 guys around him. Bronico had 2 guys around him. Zaha by himself. So you put him into a situation where they left our best DP player alone. Maybe not our best. We could make the argument with BL, but a DP striker or attacker out there by himself to be able to score a nice goal there. So I think that was really nice to see.
I'm glad you mentioned Tokomati because I forgot to. But yeah, he takes his runners with him because he's going in deep. So you have multiple runners, you have multiple options. And yeah, I think Vargas was trying to pick out Brandt, and he should have. Mm-hmm. But, and again, we got a little fortunate with the way the ball dropped. But like that, you have that luck when you do things like that. So
right. Absolutely.
So second goal, and I'm sure somebody who's injured has been trying to have this happen all season long because he likes to act as a wingback, midfielder, whatever you want to do. But David Schnegg scored a goal, and I'm sure Harry Toffolo was like, son of a bitch, I've been trying to score for 6 months now, like out of the left back position. That was my shot. That's what I've wanted to do. But David Schnegg had I mean, I don't know. Like what a shot though, 25 yards out, like just through traffic, put it on frame and got a goal. What did you think on that play situation?
He had conviction. I mean, like, how many times have we yelled, shoot the ball? Like, our players don't shoot. And he, luckily he didn't blast it over the goal because I'm sure Zaha and some others would like throw their hands up and got pissed. But, like, sometimes you roll the dice. And it was a really good shot, man. Low to the corner. But when he got the ball, and even if you go back and look at the replay, he was going to shoot. Like, he was ready.
He had his hands up like for a good 5 minutes when they're trying to get the ball to switch to field. Like he was like, guys, I'm switching over here to me. He's very vocal about that. Yeah.
And Vargas, who had a killer damn night, by the way, again, was able to pick him out. 'Cause Vargas was on fire, dude. He had his head up. He was going at players. Like he really, I saw a big difference in this game, him going at players one-on-one. He wasn't hesitant. And sometimes it didn't always work out. He did some step overs that didn't quite fake anybody out, but that's all right. But man, he was on fire this game, and really great shot. Go ahead, Corey.
No, Vargas just really wanted that goal. Like he wanted a goal so bad. And he had so many good chances and couldn't quite score anything. But yeah, he had a great match. It was fun watching him.
I do have to say, speaking of luck, I will say in the 22nd minute, we got a little lucky. Toronto's goal being disallowed because that was borderline. I'm not gonna lie, and I've seen the replays a couple times. The announcers were even saying, there's no way. Like it was.
Well, I'll be honest. Privet.
It was a pick. It was a pick.
Yeah, it was, but I don't know if you noticed even like
on the league.
30 seconds before that pick happened, Privet also shoved the guy to try to get him offside right before the kick happened. So if you go back and watch, Privet pushed him. And so I guess he got back. He's like, well, F this. I'm going to try to pick and, block him because he pushed me in, on offside position. But it was, we got pretty lucky there.
Hey, a little luck. That's all right. We've seen calls like that go against us. So I'll take it. So, get a little lucky because that really took the wind out of everybody. But getting that call reverse kind of jacked everybody back up. And then, Schneggy rips one. I haven't been completely happy with his play. I think him and Zaha have been completely on totally different planets when it comes to like passing and playing. But it was good that he had a a good game and great goal. And when Harry comes back and starts playing, I imagine Harry's going to just start blasting shots all over the
place. He said, "I don't want David Schnegg to be the only left back on the roster with the goal." Is what he wants to do.
Yeah, no. Harry can shoot the balls, man, too. So but he is itching for one. You could just tell. So hopefully he gets it when he comes back.
So I know I did that out of order, but I was just trying to focus on the positive. But do you want to talk about the Toronto goal? And I'm probably going to butcher his name, but Derek Etienne. Is that how you say it? Maybe.
You got it. Yeah.
But I'm on fire tonight, guys. I just need to take 2 weeks off from now on. But had a worldie of a goal. Really nice shot from outside the box, though.
Yeah. Now this is the one I have the screen grabs from, and this was a request that I do this. So.
Let's do it.
And here's the problem. It was a. Go ahead. Was it Chris Fickling? Maybe is that who it was?
Oh no, I was gonna say something else that I believe it was Kevin that sits in front of me in our section of the stadium. As soon as this goal happened, it was like, Matt's gonna be so mad. It happened right in the middle of the field, middle top of the box.
It's like so. On that note, sorry, and the kind of pickup you said. I don't know if it was Nate or you said, but. Just to build off of this, I even put it in the Discord. I'm like, we encourage these low percentage shots because we're like, oh, it's low percentage. Like they're not going to go often, but it seems like they're not very low percentage to us. It seems like they're high percentage shots against us for whatever reason. So
this goal actually kind of makes me mad, and it's those things that I'm seeing patterns. I'm seeing the same things week in and week out, even when we win. And this goal is nonsense. It's a great shot. Don't get me wrong, but this should have never happened. Nathan Byrne and Westwood should be really embarrassed on this goal. So for those that are not watching on YouTube, this first screen is, Toronto has the ball in the middle of the field and they're going forward before the shot happens and everything like that. You get Etienne like out on the wing. We're always, compact in the middle. Nathan Byrne is guarding more centrally and kind of giving up the wing. I have thoughts about that, but that's how we play. We're going to give the wings and try to move over quickly to contain. The only problem is there's other free runners. Like Nathan Byrne has a runner right at him. He also has, the guy wide open behind him. And so this is the problem too with pinching in and then leaving the wings. It's like, I think Byrne and whoever the other fullback is kind of gets in no man's land. I'm like, do I take this runner? Do I take the guy who's completely wide open over here? And then, of course, we, Corey always kind of make fun of pointing and everything like that. Look at Ashley Westwood. He's literally pointing over to the runner, and I'm like, I don't know, man. You might want to go out there and get the runner. So and you got Brant Bronico tracking back, and Privet right here is a little too deep for me. He's at the top of the box in the little semicircle there, and that's another thing too. We drop back a little too far. But if you go to the next slide, it's kind of the buildup of the play. And again, Privet, have a question mark around him. Like, okay, you've sagged back into the 18 now. Why are you not guarding the guy that's open in front of you? And if you look at the screenshot, and even though it's a screenshot, you should look at the whole video. No one is looking at runners. They're all looking at the ball the whole time. No one is looking at any man. So the shot gets off and it's a goal, but these people were just unmarked, uncared for during this whole build-up. So now, Etienne,
I have a very serious question.
Oh, God.
If you look behind the player who has the ball, there might be some folks on the sideline that could have easily distracted the player and helped us out here. So I think there was an individual that's on this show that could have tried to help us out. So I think you need to circle him.
You can ask my buddy Steven. During this play, I am screaming back door to Nathan Byrne. During this play, I'm screaming at him before this slide.
I just
right
really
here.
wish we could enhance. Oh, thank you so much.
I know.
Corey.
I want to hit the enhance button like a CSI
and
show.
To see like Swift's hands up in the air or something like that. That's what I really hope to happen. But that's okay.
That's me. Where the star is on the where the star is.
Right
you
here?
go up and to the left a little bit. I mean, that's me.
the blue blur.
The blue blur.
Yeah, the blue blur. But no, I'm yelling and right there. So yeah, I've got Privet highlighted, circled, and I have the two Toronto players who, again, like what is Ashley Westwood doing? Who's he guarding? Morrison can't guard two people, or is Privet guarding someone? But he's sagged in too far. Like, it's just, again, and like Bronico has a runner coming in behind him that he has to deal with. And if you go to the next frame, we're all now sagged deep into the 18. There's a guy that I've got circled in the middle of the box that no one seems to be caring about. And then Nathan Byrne is one-on-one with Etienne on out wide. Ashley Westwood is at the top of the box. And if you go to the next slide, what is Westwood doing? So Westwood has decided to be in the 18-yard box and not guard a man, and is ball watching the guy with the ball, not guarding a man. You know, mathematically, I guess we're okay. But if you're going to be in this position, double team. Because go to the next slide. What is that shit? What is Westwood doing? Nathan Byrne.
He was caught flat-footed is what it was.
Nathan Byrne gets beat. And so I'm going to say this. I learned this in high school soccer. Show them the outside. You never let someone drive to the middle. It's soccer 101. Nathan Byrne just gets beat, like poorly beat. But you have Ashley Westwood there, who is he's not guarding anyone. He doesn't have a man. He could have stepped out because Etienne takes kind of like a weird angle. He's like, he dribbles through the box to get to the top of the 18 to take the shot. And yeah, Westwood is slow to come out, slow to engage. Brant Bronico actually moves towards Etienne too, but it's all everybody's slow. But I blame Byrne. Byrne just really, I don't even know what the hell that was. And then Westwood too. Like, what are we doing?
Well, I keep going back and forth here because I'm noticing that in the span of time that it took Etienne to get to like kind of this top part of the box right here, not only does Westwood not come out, he's deeper.
Yeah.
He's deeper in the box somehow.
Right.
Like if you look, he's right here.
It makes no sense.
You use the grass lines. He's deeper. Like not much.
It makes no sense.
But not only did he not step out, he got farther away from where the ball was going.
Yeah. So, and those are the things that's been happening. And that's why, again, we're not trying to be overly negative, even though we won. It's like this thing right here is the same thing that's been happening. We keep giving up shots at the top of the box, and we're just really bad at stepping out and defending, rushing shots. So I don't get it. But anyway, great shot, great goal, I guess, all things considered.
And just on a high note, can you zoom in on Swift right here for me? For the past like 3 slides in a row, I'm pretty sure Swift had been sitting there with his hands on his chin, kind of like thinking or stewing, probably like, what the hell's going on? He's to the left and up of the B. So you see his hands right like there. This. For those, I know this is totally an audio platform.
Yeah, I'm like this,
doing a visual. Yeah, correct. Because he's seeing what's about to happen. So
yeah, I was not pleased.
Yeah, sorry, I just had to do that enhance there. But listen, great shot, future World Cup player there for Etienne. He's got selected for World Cup roster, so you're going to see him playing the next month or so. But great shot. It is what it is. But then Charlotte obviously came back and scored a second goal after that, not long after, and took the lead 2-1 within that space. And that was the goal with David Schnegg that we talked about. So anything else in the first half, Swift, before we transition to second half and really how Charlotte sealed the deal a little bit?
No, we played really well in the first half. I thought, all things considered, and lots of great energy. Second half, I didn't think we played all that great, though. But
I feel like Toronto kind of adjusted a little bit, and we weren't playing as well potentially. Yeah. Right. So second half, I mean, if you're looking at some of the I guess I was trying to pull up quickly here just to see when we made our subs. I mean, we kind of made subs sooner than we typically do. Like we made 66 minutes. We brought Jabril Gianni on. Rodolfo Loco onto the field as well. You subbed out Corin Vargas, you subbed out Brand Bronico within that space, I guess, to try to, Vargas worked really hard, got 2 assists. I think maybe you brought in a Loco to help with, run on tired legs a little bit on the wing there for Toronto. Brought in Gianni to help kind of solidify the midfield and be more defensive with that space. So I wasn't really upset about the subs.
No, I thought it was good
at that point. So, and then Dean also brought in. I was trying to think when we scored our goal. Though we scored, what was the minute that we scored our
84th minute?
84th. Okay, so we made the subs before then, but Will Cleary came in. I don't know if you want to talk about him a little bit. Swift, I do. Subbed in for the.
Well, first I want to, I gave Nathan Byrne a lot of crap, and maybe a little bit of Andrew Privet. Andrew Privet saved a goal in this game. So did Nathan Byrne. Nathan Byrne made a hell of a track back run and just ran himself in the ground to save a goal, and it saved a goal. And Andrew Privet did the same thing. He saved a goal. So, kudos to both of them. If we're gonna say negative things, we got to make sure we say the positive. And I think Nathan just ran himself into the ground. But Cleary came in, and man, I've been very impressed with him. And I said this in Discord, but I was in the vault this game, and I just want to say, like, after the game, Cleary was literally, he may have been the last player to come off the field, because he had hopped over the barrier and was up, like, signing stuff with fans and taking photos. And he took a ton of time and was very nice and just a good guy. And it's really good to see somebody of quality there in case Byrne can't go. I'm not saying that Cleary is 100% could be a starter or he won't make mistakes or anything like that. But one, really good player, and two, really good person. I was really impressed with how he dealt with the fans. So that was awesome to see.
Yeah, he was a MLS draft pick, right? Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of like how we actually acquired him.
Sorry to put you on the spot and filibuster here for a second as I quickly Google this. Yeah, he was a super draft pick from Stanford. He played for Stanford in college.
Yeah, and I couldn't remember. I was trying to think like what round and what pick he was.
Don't know. Sorry. If you want to, I'll talk while you pull that up.
I couldn't remember off that. It's no worries. But he's been doing really well at Crown Legacy, and we saw him a little bit in Open Cup, and he's very composed. So I like him.
Yeah, I feel like he was a first round pick in the Super Draft. So I think. Yeah. So, I think that's a benefit sometimes of these college guys that we get drafted. They typically, I don't want to say they're more mature, but they seem to be a little bit more composed sometimes. Not all the time, but especially if they're getting minutes at Legacy as well. But he came in, Archie Goodwin came in as well in the 75th minute for Toklamati. I think that's something that Corey's been talking about in previous episodes too, of like wanting Archie coming in sooner and helping out with tired legs or trying to get more consistency and a better attack there for it. So, I'll give Dean credit. I feel like the subs were actually decent timing and also decent for who they were at the time.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, they were good.
But then you got a PK there, and Mr. Pep Biel took the PK. Did you guys see it? So I didn't see it, but on the announcers and Eric Krakauer I was listening to his feed, mentioned that I can't remember who it was, but someone had the ball in their hands to take the PK, and Pep Biel came up and just took the ball and was like, "No, I'm taking it."
It was Archie.
Yeah, I think
okay. Archie walked. Archie walked out with the ball, and then I don't know how aggressively he took it, but I'd noticed that Archie had it. I thought he was going to take it, and then I looked up and Pep had it. So,
yeah,
not sure how much of a conversation was had there, but yeah, Archie did have it for a minute.
I think when I was watching, I think that Archie just had the ball and was kind of like just carrying it to this, over to the spot. I don't know that maybe Archie was like, "Hey, if I just have this ball, maybe I can, maybe they'll give it to me." But I don't think there was much of a conversation. I think it was, if anything, Pep was like, "Yeah, give me the ball." Like I don't think it was much more than that. but yeah, that's it's nice. The MLS announcers, so Jessica Charman was on the MLS call, and it was interesting because you had Jess on Apple, and then you had Krakauer on the radio.
Yeah.
And man, in a perfect world, just have those two together. That would be great. But yeah, some of the blanking on the name now. Jess's co-host was like, I don't know if that's a PK. Looked like he just tackled him to the ground, but whatever. I don't know. Clear. I mean, it was just kind of like.
He also was very, very not saying it was a PK on a penalty on the pick either, too, though. So
yeah,
he's.
But it looked like he just tackled it. I don't know what to tell you. It's a very kind of stupid foul on Toronto's side. I'm Correct. Like, that was very strange. But
who was it that he tackled? Was
it Morrison or was that a Loco?
It was either Loco or Morrison. Let me go back and see if I can.
Yeah.
See it.
Yeah, it was a weird thing for them to do. Yeah.
Yeah, it just grabs him and just like they both like. I'm like, you can't ride him to the ground, dude. That's kind of dumb.
Maybe you can. No, so but then after that, and I know Corey's pulling up to see who that was, but
now
definitely sealed the game
of whose jersey it was. But yeah,
I don't think it ever. That's why I was questioning who it was because I don't think you ever saw it. But definitely sealed the game after that point. Charlotte was up 3-1. Charlotte had a few more chances after that. I think the 94th minute.
Yeah.
They had a little bit of a 5-on-2 kind of situation, and Zaha passed it to Ashley, and Ashley. Yeah, I don't know. It was a weird situation there, but unfortunate. But
Zaha probably should have had another goal in this game too. Mm-hmm. But again, and hey, we had chances. Luckily, we didn't have like one or two, and that came back to bite us in the butt. We had other chances and everything like that. Yeah, Kalina does make a really good save, and I think in the 93rd minute. And I really, I don't want to make this a negative episode because we won, but there is something I want to talk about. And again, it's about my guy, Ashley Westwood. And it pains me, but I got to say it. I am so unbelievably pissed off about his yellow card. And for the fans, do not blame the referee. Because I am in that corner, right? I am not very far from the referee. So during this corner, and then keep in mind, so when did Ashley Westwood get this yellow card? 93rd-ish minute?
90 plus 2, yeah.
The game only lasted how long? 94th minute?
Three minutes after that?
Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah.
Okay. We're up 3-1, right? And so we have a corner, and the referee has already, he goes, Zaha, hurry up. And Zaha is like, players are like, yeah, they don't hear him, quote unquote, whatever. And the ref grabs his cards. He goes, Zaha, hurry up. Tells him. And Zaha's like, oh shit. Okay. I do not want to get another card. Okay. He goes over to take the corner, but then he gives it to Westwood. I'm like, okay, Zaha's about to get a card. And the referee is over it. And he tells Westwood, he goes, hurry up. And Westwood's asks you can't hear him, and is asking for a whistle. And the referee's like, no, hurry up. And he goes, do you want a card? And Westwood's like, oh, yeah. And then he tries to put the ball down, and then he picks the ball back up. The referee literally grabs his cards and says, and walks and gives it that motion you're about to get one. Are you sure about this next moment? And Westwood just dicks around more, and the referee gives him yellow card. I'm not far from Westwood. I cuss Westwood. I'm like, what the fuck, dude? Why? What is the point of that? You're not up 2-1. It's not 1-0. There's no time left. They cannot score 2 goals in the amount of time. There's just no reason. And everybody gives Zaha shit for yellow cards. Westwood only has one less, and he just had to sit out. He just had to sit out for a game. And he gets that yellow card. And the yellow cards that he is getting are not for fouls. They are for bullshit. And I got into an argument with some folks a captain has actually more leeway than other players. And I'd like to get Nate's take on that. In my experience, captains can say more and get away with more. And the fact that Westwood are getting these cards, and we needed him the game he was out. So I'm pissed about that. If you're going to get a card, get it for tackling. Get it for standing up for another player, not running your mouth, not blasting the ball down the field because it was a second ball on the field. Like, that shit is dumb. And that yellow card is childish, stupid, and your captain cannot be doing that. And I'm pissed about it. I don't know. Maybe it's a small petty thing and whatever. I love Ashley Westwood. I have multiple jerseys with his name on the back. I like him a lot. I talk to him all the time. Great dude. But can't do that shit. If we're gonna talk shit about Zaha, that is unacceptable. That yellow card. He just got back from suspension.
Mm-hmm. I just love how much being a referee in that moment is like being a parent.
Dude,
it's like, don't make
that
me
entire
say it
story was
don't
just
make
like
me say it one more time.
It was like talking to my son.
2.
Exactly. Basically, that's what he did, Corey. And then, of course, Westwood gets the yellow card and the fans boo. I'm like, no, it's not the referee, man. Not the referee. That was all Westwood's doing.
That's amazing.
Like, again, I don't care about yellow cards. Just get them. That makes sense. It's worth it.
I agree with that.
Anyway. I was going to make a really cheesy joke about my soccer ability on Sundays and correlating that to Ashley Westwood on Sunday or on Saturday.
Have you gotten a yellow card in rec?
No, but I was the interim captain on Sunday's game, and I did have some leeway to talk to the referee more. And he had to explain an offside call because we were pushing back, and he brought me to the side and explained it to me instead of. So yeah, I mean, I
you explained the rule to you. It's like a Ted Lasso.
Well, no, because it was a controversial. It was a controversial offside call, and he even had to go talk to the AR for like 2 minutes to confirm it. And he came over and was like, "Here's the reason why it was called because it was a little controversial." But So I'm Ashley Westwood on Sundays, just so you know.
Basically.
Basically, yeah. All right.
Absolutely not. I'm the fat, slow guy on the sideline that's trying to keep up. So,
David will also post his what is it? The
starting 11, the winning 11. Yeah.
No, you post your heat maps of your game in Discord, and it's so funny because like. There'll be times where he's just on the sideline, apparently pacing a lot. Like, I don't know what you're doing on the sideline.
I've played 90 minutes the last 3 games, and I have not. There's been no water breaks. There's been no subs the last 3 games. But I tend to, I kind of like you were saying about Ethan Byrne, I tend to not allow the inside in. I'll let him run down the sidelines all day, every day, because I'm like, I'm not fucking running down here. So you can run down here all you want. But I'm not letting you cut inside. So it's Yeah, I'll post my most recent heat map from Sunday here.
That's a good advertisement for the Discords we're going to get. Is you can come look at David's heat maps in the Discord
for his
see how slow I ran.
Give him all kinds of shit when you post this.
No, just that one that he posted that one day. There was just so much heat on the sideline.
Oh yeah, I was like, please ignore the sideline. I promise I wasn't on the sideline that much.
I was trying to figure out, like, are you warming up on the side? Like, what are you doing? There was like so much, like, just red over there. I didn't know like what was happening. It was very funny.
Amazing.
Oh man, I'm pulling up my heat map now. I gotta redeem myself here a little bit. So if you're listening, this is why it's gonna get posted here in a little bit. But yeah, it'll be fun. Right, yeah. But anyways, good win. We'll actually talk about the game now. But yes, good win, 3-1. Felt good to win at home. Hopefully we can keep this momentum going against who do we have going up here against this weekend now? I think it's New England again. So
big game. They've New England's pretty good this season, but it's it'd be good to beat them because they can't gain any more points on us, and that will hopefully jump us up a little bit. Yeah, that'd be a really good one to go out on before World Cup break.
Yep. Before we get into Q&A, unless there's anything else y'all wanted to say, I meant to, when we were talking about the penalties, say this, and I forgot. But my oldest, who has started going to matches with us, we have season tickets for the whole family now, and she's gotten like very into it, which is like the most amazing thing. Like she knows all the players and is like into it. And she was talking about like when she saw that Pep was the one taking the penalty, She like literally like rubbed her hands together and she's like, "Oh, this is gonna be good."
Oh, nice! I love that.
That's awesome.
She's a big Pep fan, so she was very excited when he was the one taking it. So I was like, "This is really fun." All right, we have a lot of listener questions because we have 3 matches worth. So I'm gonna skim through a lot to try to find ones that are more like either Toronto focused or kind of big picture focused stuff. Since we've already been going for like an hour, so let's start here. Looking at the summer window. From Philip Sanford. With the Abada rumors, the not great on the surface situation with Zaha, and Vargas being transitioned to a TAM player, I'd like to revisit a preseason question I had. Now that losing 3 wingers, including 2 DPs, is very much possible, what order would you prioritize making replacements? Would you target 2 wing DPs again, or play a Loco and Berkimas more and use the second DP for a striker, midfield, or defensive player? And he says, in my opinion, the top replacement would be a DP winger who can start an offensive set so teams just can't position themselves and neutralize Pep. Matt, you want to start?
Sure. Yeah, I think you need another winger on Zaha's side if we're gonna lose Zaha, which it kind of looks like we might be. So replace him with somebody great again that helps Pep out in the middle, and again just helps our attack. And then I would like to see maybe the other spot because I think we're okay on the other wing and we have a little bit of depth. I'd like to see we talked about the double pivot. We've talked about Bronico, Gianni. I want to see like a badass 6 or 8, like somebody that can play both sides of the ball, that can go box to box, can shoot, but also play stout defense. Like, let's spend some money there. Like, I think anytime that we could play through the middle of the field, we're good. We make chances and everything like that, and we're not as predictable. So I think that's where I would kind of I would go with. I think with Archie and Toklamati, 2 young players up top, I don't know if I would be spending money quite like that. I'd like to see how they progress first. So winger and center mid.
Yeah. Makes sense. David, any other thoughts?
No, I agree. I think that's the way to do it. And that will also, I don't want to say keep us from doing the double pivot all the time, but it would free up Ashley to be a true 8 or get an 8, have Ashley be a true 6. Like, I don't know. It would free up a lot of things for us in the midfield. But then, like you said, we have a Loco and some younger guys that we can start to see at the wing. So
yeah, we're gonna have to replace Westwood at some point, like pretty soon. So.
Yeah.
Especially if he keeps delaying corner kicks for Swift.
He gets me mad about these yellow cards, man. I need to have a conversation with him.
There was some great, speaking of the double pivot, after the last episode, there was some great conversation on the double pivot in our question channel started by Bryant, who says, what other aspects of my life could be improved by a double pivot? Health, finances, marriage, love life. And you can just imagine where the conversation went from there. So I'll skip ahead a little bit.
So Swift, for those who aren't aware, what is a double pivot? I'm
Oh man, I'm gonna keep scrolling. There's a question from Philip that I'm gonna so he doesn't think I'm ignoring it, but I'm gonna not ask it because we did enough negativity today. So I want to save that. So Philip, if I don't ask it like in a couple weeks, remind me again because I think it's a fun question, but maybe for a more positive episode. So we're not seeing it like that. Okay. This question from Matt Jones about Luca De La Torre. Basically, I've seen him play a lot now, and new players do take time to adjust. I know he's bad defensively, and his strength is supposed to be progression. But if he touches the ball 100 times, he may do a progressive motion one of those times. He nearly always takes the safe, non-aggressive pass. Given what I have seen, he's I keep trying to avoid the word sucks because he said it like a bunch of times, but I just couldn't avoid it this time. So given what I have seen, he sucks at progression as well. So what does he provide? And is he actually a progressive player? Does anybody want to jump in on this? You might have immediate thoughts?
I think I mean, it sucks to say this, especially right after the salary dump where they shared that he's like our 4th most expensive player outside of the 3 DPs to say this. But I truly think that he fits more as a Pep BL sub that could be coming into where he's not needing to be more defensively sound and can be just free reign to be progressive passing a little bit. Hopefully, in this system and the way that we play and the way that we expect our 6 and 8s to pivot and take up space and be defensive, I just don't see him fitting in right this second. So maybe we use him as an attacking mid, and then after the season with Ashley Westwood retires, and then you have another 6 come in that you can have him fill in, then be the true 8. I mean, great, whatever. But I think right now it's a round peg and a square hole, or vice versa. Everyone say it. But go ahead, Swift.
No, I think that makes sense. Yeah, he's got to play defense. I haven't seen anything that convinces me that he can play defense. But it's the Michael Bradley effect for me. And what I mean by that, early Michael Bradley was good. Late Michael Bradley, and even like late World Cup Michael Bradley would be the Zen guy in the middle that gets the ball and passes it around. I think I talked about this last time. I'm going to jog around and move a ton, but I'm going to not do jack shit with the ball. I can possess the ball, and I got 90% passing, but we haven't done anything with it. And that's Michael Bradley. Michael Bradley's a great player, but like, what the shit? Like, and that's kind of how I see Luke. I mean, like, that's how digging around with the ball makes me so mad. And like, that's kind of like Luka's great. Yeah, I could pass the ball. And my passing percentage is great, but what did you do with it? Did you open yourself up to drive forward? Are you driving forward? Are you getting in good pockets of space? There was a little bit of that when he started. I saw some semblance of progressive passing, but to your point, David, like, where does he fit in? Like, I don't see how he fits in the squad. And if anything, he is a sub for Pep, and that's a lot of money. A lot of money and a lot of contract. That's
it's a long time. Yeah.
Because if we talked about Kessler. Kessler is being paid a lot of money, but he's only here till the end of the season. So you're not totally strapped with him. But Luka's here like till 2028 with an option for 2029. So that's a lot of money, a lot of time. So I don't know. I don't see how he fits in, but maybe that will change. Like, to your point, maybe we can get some additions and figure that out. But he's got to play both sides of the ball. Yep. And when he's playing offense, you better be really good at one if you're not going to do the other. And I haven't seen either yet. But to the question, he hasn't played all that many minutes and all that many games. So maybe we should be a tad patient there. So,
yep. It's really funny to go through these questions and see like when they were asked, and you can tell, like, without even looking at the date, I can tell when they were asked based on the tone of the question. So this one from Matt Chantry, on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being you love Dino to death, and 10 being you want to throw him into the ocean. Where do you stand on Dean Smith, in or out after the season at this point? Assuming things continue roughly how they are and we are inconsistent and finish no higher than 7th with a quick playoff exit, or miss the playoffs altogether. This was clearly asked post New York. Mm-hmm. But even considering, we talked about this a little bit at the beginning, but even considering the Toronto win as well, like if you had to say, if you give him a 1 to 10 rating, 1 being the best on the scale that Matt gave us, 10 being you want him fired tomorrow, where are you at? Just a quick pulse check.
Do you want to go first, David?
Yeah, I mean, you said 10 of not being fired.
No, 10's fired.
Yeah,
10's fired. 3, 4.
Okay.
Ooh.
Like I think, like, is it good? No, but if it would continue to get worse, that could obviously get hotter. But like, I'm also the mindset too, like player. I mean, I know we were texting back and forth during that after that NYCFC game. I think players have got to also do their part too. Like, scheme is scheme. Like, having 2 shots the entire first half or second half of a game is also on players to not execute to a certain degree. So like, I don't know. I'm willing to give him some grace a little bit and see what, after the summer window, if we get some upgrades, and then also if he continues to be super inconsistent, even if we get more upgrades, then that pulse would get closer to a 5, 6, or 7, depending on how we continue to go after the summer window.
I am at 6.5.
Wow.
If you would ask me after the NYCFC game,
I was about to say.
I mean, great. I would have been like a 5 after the NYCFC game.
I have calmed down a little bit, but here's the thing. I've seen the same things year after year, and I think Dean is a good coach. Don't get me wrong. I've been going back and forth with folks on Twitter because you either kind of blame Dean or you really hate Zoran and think it's just the players, and the players, whatever. If we had good players, we would just be amazing. I don't know that we will.
10 Messis, it's fine. Just make it happen.
And like, I think it was Chris Fickling. He even said, because I think he's a Norwich fan. He even said Dean got fired from Norwich while he was in 5th place because the fans got tired of the same tactics and strategy that we're seeing here. Now, to your point, David, I really want to see what Dean does with these new reinforcements. But if it's the same old, maybe it is Dean has gotten us.
Sorry, I was just going to add if we get a DP in at the wing and we get like a Loco and we have Bershimas on the roster and everything like that, if he still brings on Tiger Smalls over like these DPs and things like that, then I'll be like, all right, cool. Like, and I'm not saying I make fun of Tiger Smalls. I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying
I know
that's
I get you.
You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, that's
well. I mean, the coach plays who he wants to play, and that's why you've seen Abada. That's why you've seen Tiger Smalls. I don't think the front office is dictating who is on the field. That is a coaching decision. They're two separate things. And so, yeah, that's why for me, I'm like at 6.5 because I've seen some really questionable tactics and subs and who's starting and why. And I go back to the Tiger Smalls sub. Like, there's no reason why that he should have come on that game. There's just not. And so it was dumb. And there seems to be maybe that we've gotten to a level where we are, which is good. Can we be great? What can we take it to the next level? And that's why I'm like at 6.5 or 7. But that can change if, we get new players and we're good.
I'm also like, I've seen us have some really bad coaches, and I'm also like, I don't want to say like having the status quo. Like, I'd rather have what we have now than go back to what we had previously.
Of course,
it could easily go like grass is always greener. It's the backup quarterback's always the fan favorite. You know what I mean? It's
that is why a lot of people they blame Zoran. They're like, well, it's the players. It's not. I'm
not blaming Zoran either. I mean, it's a combination of both. And
we've definitely missed on some players, and we've talked about them. And,
sure. Yep.
Ad nauseum, but again, like I think this summer is a make or break for a lot of people in this organization, and some of that is the front office, some of that is the coach. So we'll see. I just want to see some progressive football. I want to see it, shake it up a little bit. We'll see what Dean does with the personnel, and we'll see how it shakes out.
All right, I'm going to ask one more. There's several more in here, and especially if you asked one that was a little more evergreen, remind me about this next week or week after. We'll bust some more of these out. But I wanted to kind of jump around to some. This was one that I had in my brain or is related to something I was thinking about. So I'm going to ask this one from Ben. He says, I can't really think of a single instance this year of Toklamati doing anything as productive as Archie's run on Saturday that culminated in a perfect pass to Gianni at the top of the box. I don't remember exactly what he's talking about, but just generally talking about Archie's play. I get that he's shown he can be a really good finisher, he being Toklamati, especially last season, but is that really enough for a starting number 9? Assuming Zaha departs and we're able to sell Abada this summer, do you think it's worth prioritizing a DP signing at that spot or use it elsewhere? And I guess I'll kind of add my part as just kind of a general, like, how do we feel about Toklamati right now? Because he's gone long stretches and sometimes entire matches not having any real impact on the match. And I know at one point we were kind of going back and forth, like, is that his, or maybe it wasn't y'all was going back and forth on this because of people, but like, is that his fault? Is it the problems getting the ball forward from the midfield's fault? Like, what's going on here? But I just feel like he's been a little bit quiet in this run of matches over the last month. What do y'all think?
Well, he has scored.
Yeah.
He's 21 years old. And we've talked about the 4-2-3-1. If it's not ran correctly, that forward is left on an island and not getting any type of service, no touches. So there's part of that, but also too, he has to make good runs. He needs to make diagonal runs. He needs to be able to hold the ball up. So it's a little bit of kind of all of that. But again, he's young And then you have Archie. So like I said, I don't think I would want to throw money there yet. I think we have seen that we can score by committee. That's Zaha, that's Pep, that's the Vargas or whoever other wingers and everything we got. I think our striker doesn't have to score all of our goals for us. And I'd rather have that anyway, and let Tokolmadi progress and get experience. And when he's hot though. But I think sometimes he is kind of stranded and we're just not creating enough anyway. So I think that's just part of it.
I'm just imagining now Derek Zoolander, Edon's so hot right now, whenever he's going on these hot streaks. But I do agree with Swift. I don't think we need to throw money at it. Now, it's an interesting thing because remember when we first played Tokolmadi, brought him in as a winger in Seattle that very first game last year to try to make a spark with Patrick there, and he helped create something to cause that own goal to get a draw, right? So could you flex Edon out wide and have Archie up top at times? Maybe. I don't know. I'm not saying I would want to do that. I don't think you can if you're going to run Tokolmadi 70 plus minutes. But I agree with you, Swift. I think you spend the money on the wings and midfield and help get more creation. So then that way Tokolmadi can score more goals. I think what you also see though is Tokolmadi is not someone that's going to score a lot. I mean, your striker's not always going to be outside the box either way though, but almost all of his goals are within the goal line box and the inner one. So it's very close headers, loose balls, things like that he scores. So I don't say he's a poacher, but he seems like he gets good goals that way.
I think what's hard is I agree with you that I think mostly we've struggled to get anything going forward, and he's been left kind of on an island, and that's why a big part of what's happening here. But there are also, thinking about the last couple matches in particular, times where the ball gets to him and he immediately turns it over. He's out muscled by a center back or something like that. He's not able to do that hold up play that we would sometimes need. And so even when he's touching the ball, and maybe not be an ideal situation for him to be touching the ball, he's losing the ball almost immediately. So there's obviously he's a different type of player than, someone like a Pat or someone like that. I get that. Yeah. And we got spoiled a little bit by having that up there, but it's just, it's been something that's kind of, not that I'm ready to throw him on the bench or anything like that, but just kind of in the back of my mind watching a few matches, it's been do we need to maybe see some different looks up top and see if it makes any difference? Or is this just him not getting touches is a symptom of a bigger issue that we've been having over the past month?
Yeah. With the formation that we've run since Dean has been here, what has it been? The ball's over the top, right? It's a lot of that, right? And before we had, you mentioned Pat. Pat's a big dude, right? He can bring it down or he gets fouled. Tokomadi's not built the same. So it's tougher for him. He can get muscled off the ball. He can get double teamed. He needs to make better runs off the ball, diagonal runs, but it doesn't work if our those balls forward he's trying to run through the channel. So we need to work it through the middle. He's a different player than what we've been accustomed to with launching those balls forward. So, and then our midfield is not winning the second ball either,
right?
If he wins it or if he doesn't win it. So I think it's just a different animal. And that's why, if our midfield's better and we're creating chances, he is going to be able to, crash the box and get a goal that way. I would like to see him develop his shot more so he can kind of make something out of nothing. But again, I just think we're struggling just offensively in general, not just him.
Yeah, agreed. All right. That's all the questions I have now. Again, if there's something in there that you dropped that could be a good question for a future week, just give me a little nudge in the Discord so we can pull it back up. I just didn't want to, make this show go for 3 hours or anything like that. So I'll cut it off there to keep moving forward. Again, I'll preview just because it's a funny premise. Philip wants to do the all ass squad, basically talking about the worst 11. And I'd feel like that's a really negative place to be.
Yeah, I don't want to do that.
I should be a secret show episode. We could have some fun with that one.
That might be a secret show or like a off season type thing. But I feel like it could go really dark, really fast, and dogging on some players.
We could do that during the World Cup break. It's fine.
Yeah,
we have
we'll see.
nothing. Yeah.
but it's out there. He names his, by the way. We've got his 11 and subs.
I don't know.
You
If I
call
even
it
saw
the
that.
whole
He
ass
put
squad?
subs on there. He had extra.
Wow. Wait a minute. Is this current roster? Or is this all time?
all time.
Okay.
There are plenty of choice from.
Yeah. We'll say.
Did
Yeah,
he
we'll
name a
save that
coach?
one out.
We'll
Did
save
he
that for
put a
another
coach
time.
on there too?
That's a good question. I don't think there's a
I have some
coach.
thoughts there too.
I don't think there's a coach.
But
all right, we'll leave it at that. We already gave a plug. Come see David's heat map. He just did post it in the Discord.
oh, I didn't see. Let me see.
It's great.
Throw
Take
us
a
a few. Throw us a few bucks a month. You get access to that, mostly just to see his
my
heat
heat map. Jesus,
We're trying to sell it, not people not sign up.
that's so funny. That's amazing.
But you can also ask us
I gotta take
questions, chat during matches, all the fun stuff. We appreciate everybody who does support us on that. It's a big help in us doing the show, and we just kind of appreciate having a group of people to chat about soccer with on a regular basis, which is a lot of fun. Matt is like very.
I'm seeing. So I will say this, just in my own defense here on this heat map.
Matt is studying this map.
So if you look at the bottom right where you can see I never went to that side of the field, but there's one little blue dot streak going down to the corner there. That's when I switched to a wing back. As you can tell, it's a really effective wing back because I went there one time. I created, me and Brandon Lewis had a nice 1-2 and I ran an overlapping run like Nathan Byrne and I crossed it into dangerous area right into the box. I just didn't have anybody there in the box but one person. And after that, I was like, I made my run, guys. I'm done for the rest of the game.
You were very compact here on this one side, this bottom left side. I guess.
Oh, dude,
the
I
other
told
way.
you. I'm telling you, I don't let them get in the middle.
Now the other side, you were wide and looked like a little progressive. But was this bottom half? Was that the second half?
No, but the bottom half was the first half when I was playing a true left back, and then second half was more of a wing back.
I
Left
got you.
mid
Okay,
a little bit. So that's why you see the progression a little bit more.
got it. All right. There's some weird blue marks way off in the dirt.
Yeah, that's when. So again, Sunday Beer League, we have one game ball, and so when the ball goes really wide, I had to go out there and get the ball and do a few throw-ins. That was also I was doing my best Ashley Westwood impersonation. We were up 1-0, about like 5 minutes left, and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna take my time out here, walk into the dirt, and get the soccer ball and walk back and try to kill some time a little bit. But it's I got told to hurry up a little bit. It's okay. I was like, dude, I'm fat, I'm old, like I can't run. I'm not gonna run on dirt. Don't want to pull a hammy. It's fine.
All right. Yeah.
For just a few bucks a month, you can join our
Discord.
Discord.
Sold. No. Hey, I will say a quick plug. We're second place, best season. We've had 8 games unbeaten, and we're in the playoffs. Not this weekend because it's Memorial Day, but the next weekend. So I'll drop the deets. Maybe you guys can come take some photos and laugh hysterically.
I want to take some screenshots of your
oh
play.
my God, please
do a breakdown.
Please do. I would love you to critique me not moving off ball at all is what happens. So
Love it.
But yeah, cool. Sorry, I know I prolonged the episode there for a minute.
No,
yeah.
It's all good. Well, thanks everybody for listening. We have one more match before the long summer World Cup break. So we will plan to be back next week to talk about that and kind of everything heading into the summer. I'll have to figure out what we want to do over World Cup time. I have some ideas for some different fun episodes we can do during then. If you have ideas for things, throw them in the Discord. We're open to ideas about what you want to talk about over the summer. But otherwise, thanks everybody for listening. Matt, David, thank you both. At least we got a win to talk about here because otherwise it could have been a really dark episode. So that was good. So yeah, thanks everybody for listening. We'll see you next time.
See ya.